Today's episode of Sorry Mama podcast is brought to you by the Witchy Wife Crafting Co. Going on a bachelorette party, you need t-shirts made for your girls. You need some koozies made for your wedding favors. Contact Emily Strom at the Witchy Wife Crafting Co. Located in Indianapolis, Indiana. Customized goods. What up? We are Sorry Mama. Hey guys, welcome to Sorry Mama, episode Quattro. Here at Creative Native Films in Fountain Square. Happy to be here. Very excited. Got a lot of good stuff for you today. It's just me and Britt. We recorded a couple with some guests, and we were like, we got to get back to our roots, baby. Just me and her. So, a couple things. In previous episodes, she felt the need to address. I did. Not because Zach is offended, but because we just need to let the listeners know. Yeah, Zach actually doesn't give a fuck, but a couple things that I want to address is that my husband is not old as fuck. As I've stated in 2, maybe 3 episodes thus far. And it's only because I say that to him all the time. I'm like, bro, you old as fuck. Yeah, I mean, he's not. He's 5 years older than me. So I'm 33, he's 38, and he barely made the cutoff. As a matter of fact, he's 5 years and a month older than me, and my rule was actually 5 years. But we just needed to let him know it wasn't a sugar daddy situation. Yeah, he's not 75. But anyway, also, I didn't marry him for his money. We do believe in love. Yeah, I mean, so when I said in a previous episode, love doesn't matter, love doesn't last. What I'd like to clarify is that love is just not all you need for marriage. You need stability, and you need trust, and you need, respect, all the things, responsibility, all of it. So, I mean, I think that is something that gets lost. I don't know about, I can't speak for a man, but I know, like, as a woman, I very much was caught up in fairy tales as a little girl, and then movies and everything else. And it wasn't until I was dating a douchebag, couple few, and it was like, this shit is, it's just not enough. Like, I did love, those people, but they are not people that I wanted to share a life with. And it's crazy how, that happens. So I have to give credit and an understanding that, love does matter, but I just think it's just as important as trust and honesty and responsibility and all those things. Also, backstory on Zach and I, we started dating when I was 21. I actually used to go over to his condo because I would buy weed from his roommate. And we hit it off. He's extremely charming. Anyone that knows Zach knows exactly what I'm talking about. But he was 26, I was 21. We had no money. Nothing. At 6 months dating, we had a joint checking account because I was going to get a tax return. He started dating me for my money back. Right. Flip the script on that one. Already know. So, we struggled for years and years and years and years and years. I mean, enough to live comfortably with like what we wanted to do, but it wasn't a situation where, he was wealthy or I was wealthy. We would go to Speedway, and we would cash in our Speedy Rewards points. And we would buy, Slim Jims and Jack's Pizza, bro. Yeah. Jack's Pizza, some milk, some Swishers. Right. And I mean, but those were the good old days. Really. I mean, Now it's like portfolios and I could bore you to tears with that kind of stuff. But I just felt like I needed to clarify that because, it wasn't all rainbows and butterflies.
Yeah.
And he's not 75.
Right. He's not your sugar daddy. No. So we were scraping up change in the car. How many times
As a matter of fact, when him and his brothers started a company, and anyone that is an entrepreneur or just, investing in themselves, you take a loss. And at the time, I was pregnant with my son, and I already had a 3-year-old daughter. And we, again, it was a comfortability money-wise, but I mean, when he went to do the startup, I went back to work at 5 months pregnant waiting tables because, like, we had no money, like nothing.
Right.
And luckily, I went back to good old Longhorn Steakhouse where I knew the MP, and I was like, yeah, I'm pregnant, and please give me a job.
Right.
So
put me on, sis.
That's the backstory on us. And so we did that until, thankfully, his company, ended up doing really well. They sold it. We're in a different position financially now, but yeah, it wasn't always like that.
Right.
So, and it's also like extremely hard to navigate. I think anyone that is in a relationship with anyone, let alone has kids and everything else, it's stressful. And then you add money problems on top of that. It's just, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So I wanted to clarify that. I also wanted to touch upon the fact that, like, I've never had a Tinder or a Bumble or anything because that was before our time.
Right.
Like, it was a good old-fashioned meet your future husband at your drug dealer's house.
Right. Or in my situation, Longhorn Steakhouse.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, we'll touch upon that too. I've had a Bumble and a Tinder, and it's not all it's cracked up to be. I literally have downloaded the app and been like, I'm deleting this in like 3 days because really it's for me. I know some people get on there, and I know people who have found their husband and wife now.
Yeah.
But it's just been like an entertainment thing to me. Like, it's just funny.
Yeah.
To see the different types of people that you come across on there. I've gone on Tinder dates before. I've one Tinder date. Maybe 2. I don't know. Obviously not. They didn't go well enough to last or anything like that. But
they have to borrow money from their mom or what?
God, that wasn't a Tinder date, but for the love of God. I did go on a date one time.
Date was great, right?
Date was great. Like, he pulls up, he walks up. It's at fucking Bar Louie.
Okay.
In Greenwood.
Okay.
Greenwood Mall. I feel like I'm looking okay, I'm like, it's nerve wracking to go on a first date anytime.
Yeah.
But he walks up and I'm like, oh, okay, he's fine. He's fine. Date goes great. We're talking, we're hitting it off. We literally are going to pay the bill. When I say me or we, I mean him, because you would think, I mean, that I don't have a problem going Dutch. I will. I don't care. I'm not that bitch.
Not on the first date for me, though.
No, not on the first date. But I would have.
Yeah.
But he asked for the check. We're done eating, whatever. Thankfully, I had a couple drinks at this point. This motherfucker says to me, yeah, before this, I was talking to my mom, and he was also living with his mom at this point.
How old were you?
I don't remember. 27.
Okay, so old enough to know better.
6, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Old enough to know better. Old enough to know that I had a kid in my own house and was paying all my own bills, and I shouldn't have gone on a second date with him. But I did.
Bro, you ain't literally let be. Okay, sorry.
He literally says, yeah. So before this, I was talking to my mom, and I told her that I was gonna, I didn't know if I should ask you to like pay for your own meal or what. But, and she was like, no, you are not having her pay for her own dinner on your first date. And he was like, so yeah, my mom let me borrow some money to pay for our dinner. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
So did he have a job?
I think so. I don't know. I can't remember. I tried to forget about it.
Okay. Well, we're not going to let that happen.
No. Oh God. But it was someone that I knew through people through Longhorn. So I didn't, anyway, I should have known then that meeting people through Longhorn or at Longhorn was a bad idea.
Red flag.
But I didn't stop it. Didn't stop there.
I didn't know you went on a second date.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Yeah. I mean, I don't bring dudes around my daughter ever. Like ever. Because that's me. And if that's what you do you. I just feel like I don't want to confuse or make her think that men in and out's a good idea, whatever. But so moving forward, obviously that didn't go well. Single, ready to mingle, but kind of not because I'm scared of men at this point because they're just fucks. I go back to work at Longhorn because I wasn't working at Longhorn at that point. I go back to work at Longhorn. And that is where I met. So I did have a wedding. How you were there. Josh was there. It was my literal dream wedding. I mean, I fucking put my heart, sweat, tears into that fucking wedding.
It was gorgeous.
I loved it. But I was never legally married. So the way that happened was we did have a wedding. Obviously, the officiant signs the paperwork. We signed the paperwork. The officiant sent it in. And so I go down, we get married in October of 2021.
Yeah.
I go in like February of 2022. It's after the holidays and everything. I wanted that to get all done and over with. Go in to change my last name, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, well, we never received your paperwork. And I'm like, what? And they're like, it's okay. It happens with mail, blah, 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 whatever. We'll just have you take this piece of paper. You're both going to re-sign and then have your officiant sign. It's no big deal. I'm like, okay, great. We did that. I go back down, excuse me, to turn it back in. And they say that we had signed, my husband and I, or not husband, whatever the fuck you want to call it, had signed in the wrong spots. So then I'm like,
that's Jesus, baby.
I'm like, okay, Lord, I hear you. I see you, and I'm going to listen to you. Mm-hmm. So I never signed the paperwork because I'm like, that's just fucking weird.
Yeah.
First time it didn't get received. Second time it's signed in the wrong spot. I'm like, I just had a feeling, and I women say it. Some men probably say, gut instinct, whatever, and I do trust that because I feel like 99.9% of the time it's been correct. So I never sign the paperwork again. And yeah, lo and behold, I'm not with that person anymore. And it is what it is. I mean, I'm happy. I tried to make it work. I didn't. And, my mom is like, when I was going through what I went through with him, I'm like, I can't fucking do this. Not just for me, but for my daughter. I'm like, I can't put my daughter through this. Like she doesn't, I'm just not. Yeah. I don't want her to think that this is what a healthy relationship is. And of course my mom, and she was right in that moment. She's like, you married him, you made a commitment to him. Yeah. This isn't like just a boyfriend. And I'm like, you're right. So, I tried to work it out, but it just didn't. And it is what it is. Like, I feel like I'm grateful that I'm the type of person that I am confident. It took a very terrible relationship, not with my husband, but a prior, to get me to that point. So even before I was with my husband, like I was a very confident person and I knew I could do shit. Like I know that I can do shit. Like whether it's take care of my kid by myself or pay my fucking bills by myself or fucking work 70 hours, whatever I need to do, I do it to make sure that we're okay.
Yeah.
My daughter never goes without, whatever. And so I'm grateful that I am that type of person that isn't like stays in a relationship because I, doubt myself or whatever. Because like I said, I did do that for a while and it was very hard to get out of that spot. And I knew I was never going to do that again. So it doesn't matter if I fucking go out and meet the love of my life tomorrow. Obviously, if we're together, if things didn't work out, I'd be hurt, but I'm never going to not be okay. And I'm thankful that I am that type of person because it's who I am.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, I will say that, like, obviously, us as humans, especially young adults, not saying we're young anymore, but, you know.
Oh, bitch. We are young. I'm younger than you, but you know.
Okay. With that being said, like, you know, we have to learn things the hard way, right? And, you know, blessing in disguise, though, I think that's one of the biggest things that, like, getting older, you know, it's shocking how many, like, life works out exactly how it's supposed to.
Agreed.
And so, yeah, hate that you had to go through that previous relationship, but, you know, look at you now.
Right. And I was always that, like, young person who people would say, oh, everything happens for a reason, and, you know, everything works out. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up. I hated when people said that to me. I hated it. Like, I just was like, ugh, you know, but now I'm just like, I truly believe that.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. And I feel like, you know, there's two ways that you can play things, and it's you can fucking be a victim and say, oh God, well, this happened to me and that's why I do this. And, you know, life's at me. Or you can be the person that's like, okay, this is how I feel I am and you are. And most of the people I surround myself with is life fucking sucks for everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone. And matter of fact, I didn't even plan on talking about this, but there was a post that I had shared on Facebook like 4 years ago. And it was like, this lady had decided to have a problems party. She invited all of her friends over, and it's like hypothetical, obviously, and they all left their problems on the front porch. They go in, they all talk to each other about their problems, and guess what? When they left, they wanted their own problems. They didn't want their friends' problems. They didn't want the acquaintance problems. Everybody's going through shit. You can't wake up every day and think, oh God, life's out to get me. Life is out to get everyone.
Yeah.
The world literally owes you nothing. It doesn't matter if you have a penny or $1 billion fucking dollars. Life fucking sucks sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, and you make it how you want it. You literally make your own happiness.
Absolutely.
And I'm so fucking thankful that that's how I truly feel, and how, like I said, 99% of my friends are, because I can't fucking deal with people that are like, well, I'm this way because, you know, my dad was a crackhead and blah, 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 whatever. I mean, I could fucking say that too.
Right.
You know, any of us could play the victim.
Absolutely.
So, you know,
I think that, like, we live in our perspective.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's so important. You know, your reality is actually just your perspective.
Yeah.
And so if you can adjust your perspective, you can adjust your reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Two things. I'll never forget how previous toxic dude almost hit me with his truck.
Oh God.
In the duck parking lot.
I almost saw this bitch get killed.
Hey.
Oh, I was like, oh,
that's when you knew I was a real one, huh?
I know. That's when I knew. That's when I knew.
Oh man. That's just a side note. I had to add that in there. Two, though, as far as Longhorn Steakhouse, $1 billion or a penny, I think it is crucial. I think it should be required as, you know, high school or college or something. You should be a server.
I could not agree more.
If you haven't worked in the service industry of restaurant, hotel, that,
even retail, I'll even go as far as retail, because I've worked in retail when I was in college, and it was fucking insane.
My first job ever, I was 16 years old, first day of my very first job, American Eagle, Black Friday. And we're like,
Greenwood Mall? Or,
yeah.
Oh God, I worked at Charlotte Russe in the Greenwood Mall, bitch.
Oh my God, we were never.
We were right by each other. We never even know.
Yeah. Well, when I was 16, you were like 10.
Oh.
So you weren't there. Anyway.
Oh, that's bitch. But yeah, let's just go on into the serving, because everybody, obviously people have listened. They're like, I've so many people, you need to do a serving episode. You need to do a serving episode. I'm like, you're right. We do, because we've both served. And You can always tell when you have a guest that is a prior server and or understanding of serving, or someone who just has no fucking clue.
Absolutely.
No fucking clue. Everyone needs to serve. Everyone needs to serve.
Serving for me gave me self-awareness. That's something that I will say. Also, I feel like it's not known knowledge that servers don't make minimum wage.
Right.
You know, they make $2.13, $2.14 an hour. I don't know if it's gone up, but
No.
you know, so whatever you leave your server on the table is what they get. And especially if it's like through a credit card or something and you work for an establishment that, you know, takes credit card charges and then, you know, taxes them, you know, so it's just one of those things where I remember waiting on tables and they would tend to be, you know, older gentlemen that would be like, oh, you know, well, I guess that's what you're getting paid for. And I'm thinking, this isn't the time
Right.
to tell you, sir, that the only thing I'm getting paid is what you're going to leave me.
Right. Yeah, people don't know. We get no paycheck. There's no paycheck at all whatsoever.
Yeah,
$0.
It's kind of like a server for me in the best like way, especially like in a business structure or whatnot, tax wise, to describe it as like it's like being a subcontractor of the restaurant.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, you're like 1099. So that's the other thing is that a server is not getting any kind of paycheck. And so because, you know, obviously $2.14, $2.13 an hour, taxes eat up all of that. That's why you get $0 on your paycheck.
Yep.
You know, then when tax season comes around as well, you know, you owe.
Oh, yeah, I haven't even told you how much I owe this year, have I?
No.
You don't want to know, bitch.
I don't think I do.
You don't want to know. I didn't claim Noli this year. It was her dad's year to claim her. And that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, no, thousands. I owe thousands. I'm getting $0 back.
I mean, I believe it. I believe it.
I was like, okay, well, I told my tax, I was like, don't turn it in yet.
Can you not file this, please?
No, you know what? I'm going to erase these messages.
Mm-hmm.
Just act like I didn't even reach out because I don't want to file. Let them go. You know what? Take my house.
Same mailman that filed your marriage license.
Exactly. It's just poof. Not even there.
I didn't even work there. I don't know what you're talking about.
You work there.
But see, that's the other fucked up thing about it is so like when I served, especially if it was credit card, so you have to punch in your tips or you have to claim at the end of a shift.
Yeah.
And so me being, you know, especially 19, 20 years old at the time in the beginning, I mean, I would try to zero out as much as I could so that I didn't owe as much on taxes.
Right.
But the way that the world works is that you have, because then they're like, sorry, you made no money. We can't approve you for anything.
Well, and that exactly. Going to buy a house, going to buy a car, literally going to buy anything, you have to have an income of some sort. And that was like when we went to buy our house. So my ex and I both served, obviously, made great money. Like he, you know, like I'm paying for my house by myself right now. Hard. It is hard. If anybody has any food stamps to sell, holler at me. But we had to have a cosigner.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I had a family, you know, somebody in his family, my family, whatever, that was willing to do that because to society, we made no money.
Right.
Which, well, we were able to pay for our house, my car, whatever, easily. But it's fucked up because it's a catch-22. If you claim more than what you make to be able to buy your house, you're paying fucking 10 grand in taxes when it comes around. Even if you claim what you're making, you're paying back in taxes. But if you claim $0, you can't fucking do anything.
Yeah. I mean, so.
Except get food stamps.
Yeah. Well, you know.
That's a good idea. I'm going to start claiming less.
Hey.
I made $25 a day.
Hey.
Put me on.
It's a situation though, like, I know that I'm sure you've had crazy experiences because I've had crazy experience. I put a ramekin of butter one time down on a table. If anyone's been to a restaurant, you know that the seal, it's top coat on. Restaurant tables are, it's this thick.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, so if there's any kind of emotion behind it, they got a manager and said that I threw butter at them. I mean, you know, it's these kind of people that you're dealing with, and you're just like,
Yeah.
okay.
I had a bit, I told you, I did tell you this, actually, because it was football season this past
Yes.
fall.
Yes.
I was bartending. And, you know, I'm just talking to my people because I obviously can, I'm a people person. I can talk and do whatever. So I'm bartending, chit-chatting. I have these two ladies having a great time. They're having a Sunday fun day. Football's on. They're there for the Colts game. Great. Obviously, I have other guests as well. There's two of us, two bartenders back there. Now, the way that it works at Ale, typically, one person runs the rail, which is where the guests are sitting, and one person runs the well, which is where the server ticket, because bartenders, we make every single drink that is rang in, whether it's a beer, cocktail, shot, whatever. Bartenders make all the servers' drinks, okay? So one person's running the well, other person's running the rail.
Yeah, so even if you're sitting on the family side, if you order a beer,
The bartender, it comes to us.
exactly.
So I have these two ladies. They tell me their whole fucking story. You know, they both work a Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, whatever. The one tells me that she works at the VFW on Fridays and Saturday nights sometimes. You know, she used to live in Texas. She used to be a Texans fan, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Everything's Coogee. All right? Gucci, Coogee, whatever you want to say. It's cool. We good. We vibing.
Yeah.
Okay? We
Got a
vibing.
good rapport. You got a good rapport.
So at 4 o'clock, our second shift bartenders come in. That's when we start. So if we have people at the rail, if they want to cash out with the first shift, great. If not, we can transfer you over. No problem. I'm doing all that. My second bartender is back because we have to stock everything before we leave. He's back doing that. Shift change, whatever. It's a hectic time no matter what restaurant you're in, bartending, serving, whatever. So one of the second shift bartenders comes down to my POS, my computer. I'm typing shit in. He's like, hey, A12 want their check. I'm like, okay. No big deal. Go down to take him the check. Mind you, at Ale, we have a ton of regulars. I know all of them by name. I see them 3-4 days a week, whatever. So
Right.
I'm talking to them too, just like I was talking to the ladies at A12 where they were sitting. I go to take up the check. The one lady was in the bathroom, but the other lady that, you know, used to live in Texas, texted me or whatever, is sitting there. And I go to give her a check. She's like, oh, come back down here, huh? Can't talk to me? Can't talk to me? And I'm like, huh. I start laughing because I think she's kidding, like just being funny.
Right.
Never went without a drink, never went without anything. Mind you, she'd been there for a whole football game, 4 hours, I'd say.
Right.
Had maybe 4 beers, 1 shot.
Okay.
Shouldn't have been. And she was drinking Yingling Flight.
Right.
Low. It's not like she was drinking a fucking 10% beer here.
Right.
Okay. So I'm like, okay. I think she's kidding. We're laughing. I go to, you know, run her card, go back, and I'm like, she's still got a fucking stank face on. Like, she's pissed. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, is that really how you felt? I thought we had a great conversation earlier. You guys are having your Sunday fun day. You know, like, I thought that and she was like, and by this time her friend gets back and she's like, no, you, like, I can't even remember what she said. All I can remember at the end of it is she said, you fucking bitch. Anybody that knows me know that didn't go over well. I held my composure. I went and found a manager, and I said to my manager, if you don't go get this lady at A12, I'm going to beat her ass. She just called me a fucking bitch for no reason. So he goes out, and thank God, all of our managers at Ale always have our fucking back.
Yeah.
If we're not, regardless, like they have our back first.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. They have our back first, and if we need to discuss it later, they'll discuss it with us. But I love that about them because every single one of them has served and bartended before. So they're always like on people's shit for us. And I love that. My manager goes out and he's like, you called her a fucking bitch. You need to leave. You're not going to talk to my staff like that. We don't allow it. And she's like, can I talk to you for a second? But he's like, no, you're not going to talk to me for a second. You just called my bartender a fucking bitch. You need to get the fuck out. I don't know exact words, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was along those lines as it should have been.
Yeah. So I'm standing there with him and I'm like, and she's like, I did not. And I'm like, you did call me a fucking bitch. Actually, you did. This bitch picks up her water glass, throws it. Luckily, me and my manager, it missed both of us. Thank God. Okay. So I'm like, I start clapping. I'm like, good for you, bitch. Good for you. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Then she walks out, there's a server well where we make drinks and put all the drinks for the servers at the restaurant. She walks by it. 4 beers, knocks every single one of them over, broken glass everywhere, beers everywhere. At this point, whole restaurant or whole bar side at least is like looking because she's made a fucking ruckus. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me right now? I'm like, she got some shit going on at home, clearly, because she's upset for no reason, bitch. Why? Because I was talking to other people and I didn't spend my whole fucking last hour down here with you? Yeah. You didn't go without food. You didn't go without drinks. You didn't go without conversation, or else I wouldn't have known that you work a Monday 9 to 5 and you work at the VFW. And I'm about to pull up next weekend, bitch.
Swear to God.
I'm about to pull up at the VFW. My grandparents ran the VFW in Richmond, Indiana. Shout out Guy and Karen. Josh knows.
Oh, I know. It's shit.
We selling pull tabs, bingo. What you need? I'm gonna pull up, bitch.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna come into I never did, but I fucking wanted to. And she's banned from mail forever.
Well, and we're not talking about, we're talking about middle-aged women, right? I mean,
40, I'd say late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah.
Yes. It doesn't matter what,
dude, I could never fathom treating anyone that way. Like, it's just bonkers.
And here's the thing, I would give her a pass if she was like blackout drunk, because everybody's acted stupid when they've been fucked up.
Not me.
No, you never have. That's why I have a scar on my chin from you scratching the fuck out of my face like a fucking cat on a fucking... But I could have given her a pass.
Yeah.
If she was drinking fucking Kentucky bourbon ale or whatever, fucking 10-ounce pours, and I overserved her, great. But bitch, you were drinking Yingling Fight and had one shot. You don't need to drink in public if that's how you're going to fucking act.
Agreed.
Like, get your life together. And if I catch you out, bitch, you're going to catch these hands.
Mm-hmm. Amen. I swear to God, I remember you calling me that day and
still in shock. I'm like, bitch, you're never going to fucking believe this.
I know. It really was. It's crazy. I'm just always like baffled at like the kind of shit people pull. I've had, like I said, I worked at a steakhouse and people would order, certain steaks. And when you work at a steakhouse, I know more about,
bitch, I'd red meat, cow's anatomy than anyone should.
Than I should. And, so you learn how certain, cuts of, beef are. This one's fatty. This one's this one's that. This is a muscle. This is blah, blah, blah. I mean, so you'd have people come in that would order a ribeye, which is a fatty steak, and they would eat all of the steak but the fat and be like, my steak was overcooked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, what steak?
Right.
What you mean?
She gone.
I'm going to get a manager for you. Yeah. And working at a chain restaurant like that, they would just, that's the thing. They're the ones that start half the problems is, some manager will give them another steak. And I'm over here like, what? Do I still have to serve them again?
You can serve them, bud.
No kidding.
Please.
So there's just been a couple instances for me. I will say this though, embarrassing moment on my half. I as you know, any kind of holiday, you can't even request off.
Right.
You have to work it. You have to work it. You have to work it. So it was Mother's Day, and it's crazy in there on any restaurant, but the women are at home cooking the meals, you know what I mean? Right. So it's busy. It's busy. I'm in the weeds. It's 86 everything, I swear to God.
Right.
And I'm just running around with my head cut off. I had an entire pitcher of water, ice water. It's in a silver, stainless steel, whatever pitcher. It is cold. I had gone out to refill some glasses, and there was a mom and her husband and a baby. It wasn't a newborn, but it was, they were still in a car seat. They were still in a sling. I'd gotten bumped, and I know I was just discombobulated, and I'm a basket case as it is. I could second Tom, bro,
Forgetting shit.
and I dropped the pitcher of ice cold water on that baby.
On the day?
Yeah. Yes.
On Mother's Day?
On Mother's Day. And you know what I did? I didn't say anything. I just turned around and walked to the back into the walk-in freezer and just started crying.
Whose table was it?
It was my table.
It was your table?
Yes.
Had they gotten their food yet?
No.
Oh God! So you had what was the outcome of that? What happened? Were they okay? Were they fucking pissed? The baby was screaming. Obviously, did they have a change of clothes? What?
So shockingly, it and it doesn't always work this way, but like shockingly, these people were so gracious. And because I come back out, my eyes are puffy. Yeah, I'm still crying because I'm just like, I'm overwhelmed and I couldn't believe I just did that, and then I just walked away, and it was just one of those things where like, I'm still crying and I'm like, when is this day going to be over? Right. The restaurant opened at 11. It's fucking 11:15. Right. Like, oh my God, oh my God. Swear to God, bro. They left me like a 50% tip, and they were like, we hope that your day gets better. Like, I'm like, what do you mean? I just,
baby has frostbite.
Dude, I swear to God, I waterboarded your baby. Like, and they literally left me like the biggest tip. They were the nicest people. Like, it was insane. And then I'm still crying because I'm like, that was so nice.
Right.
And it's just one of those things where, I'll never forget it.
Right.
Like, I can
Neither were they.
Yeah, they won't forget it either.
Your baby lost a finger.
God, I hate you, bitch. But yeah, no, it's true. I also, when there was a birthday party and a family had brought in like a homemade cake. It was Trace Lay Chase, and they're like, hey, we have our own dessert. I was like, no problem. We took it in the back, put it in the walk-in freezer or the fridge and whatnot. And, they're like, we'll let you know when we would like it. And I'm like, sure, no problem. So learned this one real quick. It's this chick's birthday. She was like, this is my favorite dessert. I love this. Like my grandma, she made it. It's amazing. I was like, oh, okay, sounds great. They're like, grab a side plate and cut you off a piece. I'm like, okay, bet. So they cut me off a piece. I take the biggest bite. And I realized that I do not like Trace Lay Chase. And I'm like, I'm shaking. And same thing. Didn't say nothing. Turned around, walked away, and spit that shit out in the trash can. They weren't as gracious. Oh, God. Understandably.
Grandma was pissed.
Wow. I would have been too if I was grandma. But it's like, anytime anyone ever offered me anything ever again, whether it...
I'll eat it later.
Yeah. Sure, I'll take a bite of that. I just took it in the back.
Yep.
And that was that. But hey, lesson learned.
Lesson learned, babe.
Lesson learned. Oh my God.
Speaking of lesson learned, what happened to you last week with Snapchat? And the week before or prior, 2 weeks prior. Like what went on? I need to know. Tell the people and let them know not to do it, please.
Well, don't make your Snapchat public. So I have had Snapchat forever, and I guess I'm old, but I don't really use it, Like I have
this bitch, I'll send her a snap. She opens it 3 days later. I'm like, hey, did you get that snap of that cute thing? That she's like, oh, let me look at it.
Yeah, I'm not good at it. Well, I don't know. I'm just trying to be with the times. I felt like Snap was like really popular, and then it just wasn't.
And now when someone, when they're like, she's too young for you, bro. Like if a dude's like, hey, what's your Snapchat? I'm like, oh,
yeah.
No. You're too young for me. What are you, 24, 25?
I didn't realize that. Like, so the younger generation of, because I have friends that have nieces that are, you know, teenagers or even like, you know, very early 20s, and they don't even text message anymore.
No.
They only use Snap.
Which is so fucking weird.
I just think it's dumb as fuck. I'm like, someone's trying not to get caught up.
Exactly.
Like,
you
that's
don't want no
the
proof.
only thing I can think of why you're using it. I don't know. So anyway, I've always had a private Snapchat because, I don't know, it's just me and my husband and my kids on there anyway.
Right.
And I ended up making it public for the sake of a few people, you know, just really trying to get Sorry Mama out of there. Well, guess I really have been in a relationship for quite some time. Got my first dick pic.
Random dick pic.
Don't know this person. Don't know them. I open up Snap. It's like a screen name. Don't even Jane Maggers. I don't know.
J Mac.
Oh, handle. I don't know what the kids are calling.
I don't know what it is either. I just know AIM was a screen name. Maybe it is a screen name. Username.
There we go. Put our minds together.
Woo.
And I'm like, okay. So I noticed that once I had made this thing, made my profile private or public, you know, I had posted just some memories. And so it would say, you know, your friends, and then it has like a list underneath it of people that, you know, I'm not friends with, but looked at my story, whatever. So I noticed this person had looked at my story. I get a Snap. It's a picture. I click on it. Dick pic.
Schlong.
Huge. White guy with like a fucking huge dick. This thing was massive. It scared me, even if I knew it was coming. But the crazier thing was I didn't know it was coming. So I click on that, and I mean, just like,
my first instinct would be screenshot.
Dude, I just was like, I'm a married woman.
You had your phone. You were like, no.
I did. I dropped that shit, and it was like, I don't even know what to do right now. So immediately, after the picture's gone, I try to block them. I'm also like, I guess 97 years old, and I'm like, I don't know how to do this on Snapchat. So I take a screenshot of the user or username, and I send it over to you, and I'm like, do you know this person?
I'm like, no. Why?
Dude, it's just like, well, I saw a schlong as long as they come.
Yeah.
And then the another thing that had happened was that,
which I just learned today, and I'm just shook that you didn't fucking tell me this, because I feel like this is like better.
It is better
than the dick pic.
It is. So again, I had gotten a Snap. It was a video this time. And bro, I click on the video. It is 20 videos sent to me of a chick in lingerie. And she's like, you know, taking her bra off and like all this. And I'm over here. I'm literally like, just in my phone, tapping. Because I would swipe out of it and be like, how do I block this person? Like, what is going on? Dude, by the time I got to like Snap 15, we're talking, you know, legs wide open, okay, using her favorite adult toy in the thing. And I'm like, I mean, I'm just over here like, oh my God, what is going on?
Who do they think you are?
I don't know.
Well, I wonder if it's like a boyfriend, girlfriend.
And they're tag teaming me?
Maybe we met them at Club Eden.
Well, I mean, it's just one of those things where, dude, I would swipe out of the thing and I'm like, I don't know how to block this person. So I'd try to like click on it, get to their name to try to block them.
It would pop up.
It would pop the video back up.
Lingerie, then it's titties, then it's pussy, then it's vibrator, then it's dildo, then it's just over.
Bro, there was so much going on. I mean, and I'm just tapping away, which after I did that feels inappropriate. But yeah, that's where we were at. And I mean, I really was in shock. And it's one of those things too where I'm not asking for these things. They're happening to me and I'm still like, I'm like, what did I do?
Like, right, literally.
What did I do?
Who do you think I am? Which I forgot about it until today, actually, but I also got a random dick pic at one point, which is probably, I'd say I was 25 maybe.
Okay.
So 5 years ago-ish. However, it wasn't random. It was from someone that I had known for years. No one I had ever, like, been with or anything, but, like, I'd known him forever.
Yeah.
And it wasn't weird that he sent me a Snapchat at all. Like, okay, maybe a random, like, whatever you're doing for the day.
Right.
You send it to random people sometimes. Okay.
Breakfast. Yeah.
He wanted me to have it for breakfast, apparently. But so this is from someone that I knew. I open it and it's not just a dick pic. It's a full body mirror shot.
Oh, God. Face and all.
Face and all, baby. I open it and I'm just like, and I don't say a word because I'm just like, I don't know how to take it. I don't know what you're trying to say. You didn't caption it. You didn't nothing. You didn't preface it with anything. Like, it's just a full blown, full body dick pic. Now, here's the thing. If I'm sending any type of inappropriate anything, I don't give a fuck if it's me flipping the camera off or whatever I'm doing.
I'm typing out a text in the notes.
Exactly. Like you're checking who you're sending it to.
Yeah.
Okay, so he sends it to me. I don't say anything back because I'm taken back. I'm just like, okay, I don't know what you're trying to say. 30 minutes later, all I get, a Snapchat. Sorry, wrong Krista. Now I'm just here to say, I know you know another Krista, but how many Kristas do you know? And where I'm from, there's two, maybe three of us.
There's a boatload of Kristas around here. I mean, that I know personally.
And also, like, how many Kristas do you know on Snapchat? Like, I'm just like, wrong Chris. I'm like, okay, I was wondering. That was weird.
Well, I'm letting you know that if I were a dude or even just a chick and I sent a nude and then I didn't get a response for 30 minutes, that's what I'm sending as well.
Exactly. Then I'd say probably about 6 months later, I saw him out in public.
How did that interaction go? Please tell me.
I'm like, hey, bro. I'm like, what's up? We're fucking dabbing up. We're like, what's good, bro? You give it a hug. Because we're like downtown indie clubbing, because that's what you do when you're 25.
Right.
I'm like, what was up with that, man? He was like, yo, I'm sorry, man. That was this, wrong person. I'm like, I literally said, And it's funny because,
whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, whoopsie daisies. It's funny because I, like, had on and off, like, fucked with his friend, the dick pic's friend. So, like, it's funny because I'm like, okay, bro. Like,
so
no, it wasn't.
You think he thought you was slut?
He found out real quick I wasn't.
Well, I mean, no,
because I don't know if maybe it was like a bet, like, oh, bro, but I consider my dick and she come over here. Blah. No, it wasn't. I'm not doing that.
Did the dick match the guy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Was it nice?
I mean, from what I can recall, yeah, it wasn't. I wasn't like, oh God, what a little micro penis. I mean, it was a nice sized penis.
Have you ever been with a micro penis?
No.
No, me either.
I mean, as far as like, what an actual micro penis is compared to what, like,
what's the smallest and what's the biggest you've been with?
I don't know. I didn't measure it.
Oh, come on. We can all do the,
I mean, I've been with little.
What's little, bro?
I've been with little. I've been with someone that you're like, oh man, life was hard for you.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And then I've not been with a ton of people, but like I've been with little to where you're like, some bitches probably fuck you for sympathy. And then I've been with other people that I'm like, I'm halfway scared. I don't know. I'm halfway scared. I don't know, but I'll pretend like I don't.
Yeah.
That I'm not scared.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would say I've not been with like old girl who was with 50 who got tore the fuck up. Like I've not been with somebody who like that. I'm just like, but you know what they say. It ain't about the size of the boat. It's about the motion in the ocean. And I'm here. I'm
That's
100%
so right.
a believer. I'm 100% a believer in that. Like, you could have a tiny penis and I'm still hurting the next day. I mean, as anyone would say, but
Yeah, I think that, like, you know, just like out in the world, as far as, you know, not even sexual, like, there are people, like we were talking about earlier, you know, they're not necessarily the most attractive, you know, physically, but
right.
they have an amazing personality or humor or whatever that elevates their attractiveness. And I feel like the same goes with dicks,
Yeah,
dude.
for sure.
Like, if you know what you're doing,
Yeah.
and you're confident
Yeah.
in what you have, regardless of what it is,
Right.
you'd be shocked.
Yeah, I know.
Shocked.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, everyone, you know, guys, I think in general, you know, have a thing of being freaked out over size or whatnot. And I haven't been with a ton of guys either, but I've been with variations.
Yes. Yes, we can say variations.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, just because it's the biggest doesn't make it the best.
No, absolutely not.
So
No.
take that one,
Yeah.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
Take that, and I'm just
And you want to
confident.
say, oh, I know that dudes are like, oh, you don't hear this anybody's heard this. Oh, yeah, she lay there like a dead fish, blah, 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 blah. There's dudes that do that too.
Well,
And I'm like, what are you, like, are you crying? Hey, you gotta go, bro. Like, dinner wasn't even that good. Like, ooh, no.
unless your mom paid for it.
Yeah, for real though. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out.
Now let's talk about them granny panties.
I got them on right now, actually. I literally only wear granny panties or no underwear at all, and I will die on this hill.
Do you own a thong?
Yes.
When's the last time you wore one?
I don't remember because it's been that long, because if I have to wear a thong, I don't wear any underwear because I don't, like, I wore granny panties on my wedding day. They were cute. They were lacy granny panties, but I can't do a thong. I can't do a thong. And I don't know, maybe it's because I have no ass. I don't know if it's the way my hips are set up, my fat cat. I don't know what it is that keeps me. I'm not wearing a thong. Like, the way that I feel about it, like, you wear a thong, your asshole's raw at the end of it. I would rather wear no underwear. I would rather wear no, why would I want some?
Your asshole's raw.
Asshole's raw, baby. I don't want to wear a thong. If I have to wear a thong, I'm not wearing any underwear.
So
I wear granny panties 99.99999% of the time. I don't even, honestly, at this point in time, that was more in my younger days that I was like worried about a panty line. At this point, I don't give a fuck about a panty line. I truly swear to God, I don't care. I don't care. Because you know what? I still pull dudes with a panty line, baby.
Oh, I know. I think
They love the panty line.
they do.
You can see the panty line in this.
Hey. So I don't actually know if you remember this about me or whatnot. So I went through the exact. It was a stage in my life that I never thought I'd grow out of, but I was the same way. I had. Okay, first of all, when I was a teenager, my mother refused to buy me thongs.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a friend's mom that bought me a thong. And I was in middle school, you know, and like, it was cool. Like, you know, I swear bitches were doing, you know, they'd pull up their little thong strings and all the boys would be like, oh my gosh, she's wearing a thong.
Yeah, they'd bend over to get a pencil.
Yeah.
Get a little
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Call her a thong.
People were just seeing my fruit of the loom.
Well, same. But I had a friend's mom that ended up buying me a thong because my mother was not having it, understandably. And I literally hand washed that shit in my sink for like 3 days, and then I was like, I can't do this anymore. And it's disgusting. But anyway, thongs have always like played a part in my life. So I got past that, you know, era of needing to do that. And I didn't wear a thong for years, a good 10 years. Greenie panties all the way. I mean, you know, it wasn't them Victoria's Secret sales. It was like American Eagle.
Yeah.
Oh, they had nice greenie panties. And then I don't know what happened, but somewhere along the way, I don't wear underwear at all anymore.
And I'm good with that.
I do wear thongs only with jeans. Okay, first of all, jeans are tight.
Why wouldn't you just wear granny panties with jeans?
Dude, I don't wear because it's too much underwear. That's at the point where I'm at in my life. Like it's too much underwear.
God.
First
You
of
could say, oh, I don't want my jeans to rub on my vagina. They're rubbing through it on that thong anyway, because that thing's like a fucking it's snapping up in there.
listen,
It's cutting you off.
I don't have a fat cat.
Well, you know what? You know how they sell like wide shoes? Like I wear 8.5 wide or whatever.
Yeah.
They need to sell like medium wide thongs, because there's no way that your thong it would be my thong, but they sell them that way, and it's just not right because I'm getting cut off over here.
Bro, my thongs are good.
Yeah, well, good for you.
I mean, seriously, I don't know. You want to say, but
You got one of them fucking, what are them cats called that are shaved and all fucking the skin? They're not fluffy.
bro, I know exactly what you're talking about.
What kind are they?
I can't fucking remember, but
They ain't got no hair. That's I'm a big old fluffy cat.
Sphinx, is that what they're called?
I feel like it is a sphinx, but I'm one of them. I'm basically fucking the cat off Alice in Wonderland, the Cheshire cat. And you're a sphinx. And thongs don't fit the same on a Cheshire as they do a sphinx, and it's not fair.
Listen, first of all, I don't wear jeans that often. As you can see, we film in sweatpants. All right,
That's what we like.
that's what we like.
That's what we.
This is what we do. But with denim, that should be rough in certain areas, and my thong protects me in the right areas.
Well, good for you.
Also, my butthole's not raw at the end of the night.
Well, I don't know what kind of. Maybe I just need to get them one size up. Then I don't know. I'm not sure. They just don't work for me, and
I think it's great. I just wanted to let you know that I pray to God you grow out of this fucking stage.
well, I mean, it's either granny panties or no underwear. What's the problem with that?
I don't feel like I've ever seen you. I don't think I've ever seen the commando version of you.
That may be true, because it's like I said, 99.9% of the time it's granny panties. Commando version might be like I said, that was more like when I was younger, like a couple years ago. At this point, I don't care what I'm wearing. I don't care where I'm going. I don't care what I'm doing. I don't give a fuck about a panty line. I don't care if I'm in a dress. I don't care if I'm in, which I don't wear dresses that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like most of the time I'm wearing pants,
yeah.
jeans, leggings. I used to be like, oh God, you can see my panty line in my leggings. Now I'm like, is that panty line hard enough? I'm like, did they see that ass? You know?
Yeah. I guess like, so my thing is too though, like I know for a fact that you don't dress for men.
Oh no.
I don't think any woman does. I guess has that, because you're back on the dating scene, has that shifted into your mind at all?
I'm not on the dating scene whatsoever. I mean, yeah, technically I'm in the dating, but I don't give a fuck. Because here's my thing. Just like I touched upon, I think in fucking episode 1, with the whole waxing thing. I do get waxed because I prefer it that way. But
I
honestly,
almost said enjoy. I know you don't enjoy it.
I mean, I enjoy when I walk out and you get that
I agree.
icy hot feeling.
Yes.
You know, just the icy, not the hot. But that breath of fresh air. But like, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Like guess what? If one boy, one man, one whatever lives with his mom, asks for money to pay for the check. If one boy doesn't like it, another will. And honestly, I don't give a fuck if they do or not, because I enjoy being by myself. I really do. The only thing that I've truly missed about not having like a husband, one, is paying all my bills by myself.
Yeah.
That's number one. I want somebody to split my fucking finances with, but whatever. Number 2 is literally just cuddling on the couch and watching a movie.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like it's not even a sexual thing. Like, yeah, there's moments where I'm like, man, I really would love to have my back blown out or whatever.
And that is rich men. That's the rich men. Yeah.
Hey. But that's not like, that's the only thing I really miss about having somebody is, 1, the financial aspect of it, and 2, like just having somebody there, like to fall asleep on the couch and watch a movie with. That's it.
You get mad when I cuddle you.
No, I don't. When have you ever cuddled me?
I think it's because I try to touch your face.
Yeah, it's the face touching. But other than that, like if you don't like it, someone else will, and if someone else doesn't, at this point, I don't give a fuck.
No, I mean, I agree with you. So when I was 21 in that granny panty phase, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Bitch, me too, really. I've been in a granny panty phase since, when I had Noli for sure, I was at, like, granny panty phase, 100%.
yeah, 21 years old, walking up, Taps and Dolls used to be actually like the place when I was younger.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'd roll up in Taps and Dolls, and I had my granny panties and everything. I still felt like I was hot shit.
Because you are, no matter what panties you wear.
Well, yeah, I know.
I still pull dudes, though.
I know. It's shocking.
It's the weirdness. I really have to fucking pee.
I do too.
Time. Where are we at? An hour and 4 minutes? Okay,
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We had a good time. We have a few surprises coming your way.
We do?
Yeah. So, check back in.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
Bye.
Have to pee again.